react like that. Like we can get a full range of emotion. So I'm going to hack the body, hack the mind. Drive up.
There are things we are all afraid to do, and that fear holds us back. So to push through that fear, that's the most difficult bit. But anyone who is anywhere has been relentless, to be honest, to get where they want. To get somewhere, you need to be able to push past that fear. And that fear element can come from loads of different places. But learning to harness that fear to propel you forward is something that I find really amazing. The thing that you need for motivation is to run towards something and run away from something. When I think about that and I think about what I actually want from my life, I didn't actually have that big enough motivation behind me to propel me forward. When I think now what I want, I remember having a conversation with my partner about, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't know if I can carry on with like trying to create this business or trying to create a solution for people's just physical and mental well-being. I don't know how I can do this. It was very stressful. I knew what I wanted. I know exactly what I want, but I didn't know what I didn't want. And what I mean by that is like, we had the conversation and she turned around and was like, well, as long as you're doing everything you can. The great thing about that is you hear it from everyone like, well, at least you tried your best. And that still doesn't give us the feeling we want. And I think that is because we don't actually try our best, because there's always something more you can do. When I can happily say it didn't work is when I tried everything to create the thing I'm trying to create. Once I can walk away from something and go, actually I gave it my all and fully gave it my all, then that is when I can be happy to finally walk away. But you need to give it your all. And that's the thing that I think most people kind of fall down on or forget, and that's something I certainly forget, is like, I have to feel like I am giving it my all to feel good in what I am doing. So I have to give it my all. And this is the thing that people don't do, is they don't give it their all, because they always come up with the excuse because the fear is what drives them. And the fear has drove me and stopped me from being able to do the things that I should be doing a long, long time ago. And if you're afraid, you're always going to get held back. So you need to have something propelling you forward. For me, is I want to be able to say I gave it my all. I am so afraid of just saying I gave it my all when I know deep down in my soul that I didn't. And the reason it's deep down in my soul is because everyone else may see that I've given it my all, but I know I could have gave it more. This can get to the realm of obsession and being obsessed with trying to do something. And I still think you need to be aware of, in moderation, you cannot just stop eating and drinking and stop seeing people and do one thing. You have to live your life in moderation. And that's what I spoke about before, like having a reason to live and having your purpose and your meaning for life. Because when people say, what's the meaning of life? I think it's different to everyone. Different people have a different meaning for their life. When instead of meaning of life, think of like, what is your life's purpose? What do you want to achieve when it's all said and done? Once you've figured that out, well, you can move in a pretty good direction towards the thing you want. So becoming famous, you kind of need to push through that fear. You need to push through that thing that's stopping you and holding you back. And you do that by understanding that I need to know what I don't want and I need to know what I want. And you need to know that deep, deep down within yourself, that if you can turn around and say, I gave it my all, and you truly gave it your all, then you'll be happy. If you haven't, then there's something you can do about that. This is the thing of self-awareness that I think people miss. People miss with self-awareness is they go, like, for me to turn around and just like, if I was to quote unquote give up doing what I wanted to do, and someone went, well, you gave it your all, and I went, yeah, that was it. I gave it my all, did everything I possibly could in that situation, and in those 3, 5, 10 years to get to where I wanted to get to, and the stars weren't aligned, it just wasn't for me. What if there was? What if there was something that pops up in your brain? Because something that pops up in your brain, and this is where self-awareness comes in, will tell you, yeah, but you could have done that thing. Remember that thing you said you were gonna do and you didn't do? Well, that's still written on your to-do list and you still haven't done it. So it's like, okay, well, maybe I didn't give it my all. Maybe I can rethink about things. Maybe I can change the paradigm in the window I look through and the lens I look through the world to start to actually be aware enough to know that when I say that I gave it my all and ignore the voice in my head that tells me I didn't, that I am actually just giving up. And I am not being aware enough to know that I actually could have done more. At that point, I am just accepting defeat because I am afraid to carry on down that path. I'm afraid to push through the failures. I'm afraid to try again because failure is the worst thing. But remember, you don't learn and fail. Sorry, you don't win and fail, you win and learn. yeah, you win and learn. And I think you break through fear by that, by just telling yourself that you have nothing to lose. Take a step back, take a breath, and then start to readjust, rethink about what you're aiming at. Rethink about, how can I do this?